And your last and final assembly, your late assembly. And yes, this really is the end. Around 6 weeks ago now, I played for you the song that you've just come into as you were waiting to sit your GCSE exams. That chapter is now over. The secondary school chapters of your book are closed for many. And although some of you will return to sixth form, regardless, the rest of your book is there to be filled and is yet unknown. Today, I'm going to keep this formal for a number of reasons. Firstly, I need to maintain my composure and I've got a bet with Sienna that she will cry before me. And secondly, our parents and carers are watching at home, so we can't actually roast you as much as we would like to, but we will definitely save that for prom. And so today, I will take you through the last 5 chapters of your book and remind you of the times that you may have forgotten. We've had tears, mostly mine, and laughter, both with you and at you. And it has been a roller coaster, to say the least. A little story sums this up for me. And about 3 years ago now, you were in year 9, we had Ofsted inspectors in, and Mr. Bird introduced me to the Ofsted inspector. And he said, "This is Mrs. Thompson. She's got the most difficult job in school." And I responded with, "Yes, I do, but I also have the best job in school." And I stand by that today. So, without further ado, we're going to read chapters 1 to 5 of your book. Following this, we've got our presentations to do, and after that, we've got some little treats for you to go home with. Ready? So, summer of 2019, and you joined us here at Workington Academy for your induction day. Many of you arrived worried about the future and what that would bring. You arrived from your primary schools and were thrust together as one. We brought you into this hall, and that will become the venue for many assemblies over the years. These were the days when the girls were happy to sport the same ponytail, as you can see from these photographs. Mrs. Williamson and Miss Carter have not changed a bit. I think Miss Carter was only 19 on this picture. Little did she know she would have so much involvement with you all and give you so much over the years. She would then mother you from such a very young age. All of you had the same expressions on your face. It looks like boredom, and I'm led to believe it's concentration. Those faces have never changed. All of you were terrified in assembly that I would ask one of you a question and expect an answer. I have Brandon Aspridge, the only one to thank for being the one to answer the questions, and for other members of staff the whole 5 years that he's been here. Are you in, Brandon? Thank you, Brandon. Can't see him, which is just typical. And some of you then were put into teams to play bench ball, already getting used to some of the lessons that you would have here at Workington Academy. Have some more. The short straws are the ones that sat on the floor. You were introduced to your forms and immediately made friends, and the spirit was formed. You played games, competed against each other, and enjoyed learning about life at the academy. This particular pose is one which I have regularly witnessed on the field over the summer years, having not quite grasped that football isn't played sitting down. I also know that many parents have often wondered why your child was covered in mud when they got home, and now you know. Jada was too cool to hold hands and didn't really learn how to problem solve either. However, over the years, he did become a massive help to us in the year group when I kept him behind every single night of his life in years 8 and year 9. He was great at making cups of tea and tidying up. It was character building, Jaden. One thing we definitely had in this year group were lots of characters. Friendships were formed with people that you'd never met. It was such a fantastic time. Parents never grown. So, in July 2019, you arrived for our famous summer school in your droves. It was run by Mrs. O'Hagan and all of those who she blackmailed into helping her over the summer holidays. It was a fortnight of fun. I remember one afternoon coming in here to help out and seeing Mrs. O'Hagan fraught, trying to keep track of you all. It was the most amount of children that we'd ever had at summer school at that time. We were forced, as a staff body, to eat the out-of-date pickled onion crisps that were kept in the office in Mrs. O'Hagan's office upstairs for at least the next 3 years, because Mrs. O'Hagan didn't want to waste them. As I've just said, it was the biggest summer school we'd ever had. You were to be, by far, the biggest year group at 204. And you were a handful, to say the very least. But during summer school, you were kept busy by drawing and acting, singing and dancing. It is you, Sammy. And genuinely just getting to know each other. It was evident from the start that this was going to be a very competitive year group. The sports activities in the hall were the most popular, and this is where you gelled as a year group. This picture embodies the connection that you all had from the start. Your faces happy and tired from a very busy week. I don't know how many of you know this, but I emailed your parents to ask for first day photographs. Ready? September came around quickly, and you were ready to start your lives at Workington Academy. Your proud parents took fireside and front door photographs. I'm proud to send them to me to show today. This was one of the only occasions that Conor Dryden has had a tie on the school. You were also very proud of your uniforms and wore them with pride. This is something that has always continued. And although some of you have sneaked your sneakers on in the last few weeks, for the whole, you've all turned up looking immaculate. that you were going to be a high-flying year group. Awards came thick and fast, and you all went home with bags full of stars of the week, tutor awards, and many more. All of you were so excited to be given your awards in assembly and couldn't wait to go home with the news. This is something that you have never tired of. All of you in this room have consistently tried to be the best you can be and made us so incredibly proud over the years. Here is Mr. Bird with the same awkward pose. And I do genuinely believe that he handed the baton over to Mr. Bedford because he knew you were all going to catch up with him. Jack's hair is still in the very early phases of development. We've had the perm and the mullet since then. At Awards 2023, which was your last big main awards, you came in your droves and continued to make us incredibly proud. There were never any try-hards in this year group, as we used to say. Every single one of you wanted to be the best that you could be. And some of the rest. And so, year 7 was filled, just right at the absolute right time. Year 7 was filled with fun and laughter. Despite your Derby Water Day being cancelled due to horrendous weather, and I know this information because Jack Jenkinson reminded me on a daily basis that he didn't get his deposit back. One particular event was wearing yellow for children in need. And I had to look twice at this photo because Mr. Holiday does actually look like a child on this photo. And he's writing with his phone. Carl Rafferty looks like he could be Mr. Holiday's dad. And Liam's tie goes all the way to his toes. But you all made such an effort and stepped up to the request. Here we have some more. And you all look incredibly happy to be supporting the cause. I fear there must have been some bulk buying of yellow ties from Amazon. Maybe these will make a reappearance at prom. Leighton looks like he was about to start an episode of The Apprentice. Alfie was destined to box, sporting his training gear, but it was clear that Fenton had the boxing gloves ready. Mrs. Williamson was one of our form tutors in Year 7, and again, little did she know that she would play such an integral part of supporting you all through the rest of your school journey. She has, for the past 5 years, been there for you all in every single way. October saw the arrival of Halloween and your first big social event. It was amazing and the costumes were even better. Staff joined you and the vast majority of you attended here again in this very hall. There were games, limbo dancing, and everyone had the best time. Once again, Mr. Holiday dressed as a teenager, and it wasn't even his fancy dress. Some of the boys had ditched their yellow ties and decided that they were too cool to dress up on this occasion. But these three, friends from the start, coordinated their outfits, and it was clear that Demi had an interest in the beauty industry, even from such a young age. Her makeup is slightly better nowadays. The boys' costumes were equally as amazing, and it was probably the last time that your parents could dress you up in costumes. And I expect some of you at home right now are feeling the nostalgia. as we certainly are. Here you all came together. I have no idea who the green alien at the front is. I actually think it's Mr. Bedford, as clearly they are much taller than everybody else who was there. Thing 1 and thing 2 in the middle look amazing, but nowhere near as good as Miss Tweddle and I, who replicated the same costume for World Book Day that year. Eleanor Nyans, you really have always been my fashion inspiration. Just on a side note, I have my own team of fashion advisors in Year 11. Ella, Ellie, Imogen, Lexi and Demi, who on the daily critique my outfits. I have recently been told that I look like Mrs. Doubtfire and smell like Doug's Garden Centre. And what on earth will I do now, girls, without you telling me what to dress, what shoes go with what outfit, and asking me what on earth have I got on today? The love of dressing up continued for some of us with the arrival of Christmas Jumper Day, a long-standing tradition at Workington Academy, when yet again you contributed towards raising money for charity. Here, we have some of the best from the early years, which I think is at Year 8 in the science corridor. However, the top right photograph confused me somewhat, as some of you appear to have gotten fully dressed, a bit like Madison this morning. As you grew older, the jumpers were replaced with props, because you seem to think, for some reason, that you look cooler in moustaches and silly glasses than you did in a jumper. The year group team, however, still held on to our jumpers. And it was always an excuse for me to wear my Manchester City jumper, only to be roasted by the rest of the year group, bar 2. But by far, the best dressed occasion was the time that I took you to town dressed as Victorian children to be extras in the film The Ballad of Lucy Sands. We were initially approached by a film director who was making a reenactment of the famous Workington murder. At the time, not many of us had heard of Lucy Sands, and this was an excellent opportunity to turn back to Victorian Workington. We went to the cobbled streets and down to the church to film inside with the funeral scenes. It was a brilliant experience. Not only because we all got the day off school, but also because we got to learn some history about Workington. I am told the film that initially ran out of money is to be turned into a series and will actually be aired in the coming years. All of you will probably be adults by then. All of that. The final highlight of Year 7 was a trip to Carlisle to Fusion. You all had an excellent time of bouncing the night away. By now, you have begun to form the friendships that would last throughout the years. Lewis and Rio are still good friends and still share the same height gap. Oh, sorry, I need to go back one, sorry. Rio did, however, ditch the bleached blonde look for a more natural colour, and we have added him to our hairstyle Hall of Fame, along with Jaden, Caitlin, Kieran Robinson's Danny Zuko slickback, and of course, Hannah McGuinness's Smurf blue hair. As the year progressed, you all enjoyed learning new things. You immersed yourself in life at the academy and loved to learn in new subjects. You very quickly became a year group that were not afraid to do anything, whether that be science, art, music and sport. Finley, looking very pensive at his Bunsen burner. Owen, as all, pleased with himself. 2020, when you were, like millions of others, catapulted out of school with virtually no notice. For me, this time feels like yesterday, but also feels like it didn't happen at all. You were sent home on March the 21st, not knowing what would happen, when you would see each other again, and it was a terrifying time. I was the head of year 8 and 9 at the time, and stood here in this hall telling them that they were to go home, and we didn't know when we would see them again. Our school, which had become your secure place, was closed, and we went home terrified and uncertain about the future. And so you became the working from home generation. We very quickly began to execute our working from home procedures. Form time was held every morning, and you would arrive online, behind your cameras, to be registered. The famous line, "Put on your camera," was said over and over again. We rang mums and dads to get you up out of bed, and the day was spent working remotely. But this didn't stop you. As with everything else, you rose to the challenge, and before we knew it, you were all in a routine of being educated from home. The weather helped, and you did whatever you could to get through. We were amazed by your resilience. Projects came thick and fast, and you embraced your new lives. You took the time to cook, bake, knit, and were all expert crafters. We decorated hospitals with murals and displays and sent packages to key workers. It was a time when I was so very proud to work with such brilliant staff and students. We participated in the famous Amarillo video, and you made doorstep photographs and completed in a virtual sports day. I always promised Sienna I would use the stone selling photo, and here it is. She will remind me of how much money she raised for charity. I think it was £365 or thereabouts. How much was it, Sienna? 500. Amazing. We had hundreds of photos, but nothing could stop you. We returned to school in September of 2020, after 6 whole months away. You became my year group, my people, but school was very different. It was challenging in ways many people could never comprehend. We had new terminology of bubbles, LFTs, isolating, PCRs, just to name a few. We had 1 million COVID tests in our office, and I spent every Sunday for months phoning round families to tell people that they had been a close contact and to stay at home. Although back in school, some of you went in and out for months at a time, I vividly remember, as Miss Carter and Mrs Williamson do, the summer of 2021, when lots of you again spent time in and out of school because of the close contact rules. This disruption was nothing like we'd ever known. Selfishly, Miss Carter and Miss Williamson both caught COVID together on the last week of term, leaving me high and dry. Our bubble was a science lab, and those awful stools you sat on, day in and day out. It was absolute torture. And then came lunch times. I simply cannot do this assembly without mentioning that lunch times were a challenge, to say the least. Thankfully, we can look back and laugh now, but the year 8 lunch times will never be forgotten by myself, but most importantly by Mr Bird, who unfortunately for him was on duty outside with you every single day. All of you penned in this very hall, after being penned in classrooms. Some days was a recipe for disaster. You fought with each other to try and regain the pecking order, and that was just the girls. This was where my famous catchphrase came from. I wonder if anybody's brave enough to shout it out. Yeah, anyways. It's classy birds don't fight. And the reason why I know that classy birds don't fight is because I am one. Here are just a few photographs of your time back in school. We lined up at the tech doors for the rest of the year, and you really didn't get a chance to mix with the rest of the school at all. It was just us, our little team, doing our best to get through it all. And you did. This year group has always been competitive, and it was evident from your sporting achievements. From the very beginning of Year 7 to the end of Year 11, we've always had some fantastic sporting achievements. Some to mention are Leighton Roberts ran in the national cross-country final. At the time, he was only one of 2 students who achieved this. He later used that skill to run from every single detention that he was ever given. Some of our students that have played for professional clubs during their time here are Owen Ackley for Newcastle Falcons, Alfie McDonagh for Carlisle United, Kieran Robinson for Salford Red Devils, Lucas Roper for Warrington Wolves, and Jack Walsh, who is of course our PDA darts champion. The Year 11 goal of the season was from David Penaluna, who had a fantastic strike from 30 yards. No bins, no problem. Take a bow, Davy. The Year 7 netball team were a huge success, winning the Copeland and Aldale League and were runners-up of the tournament. Later that school year, you would also become runners-up of the Copeland and Aldale League and runners-up of the tournament yet again. Our under-16 girls football semi-finals were also a huge success. And whatever you have done, you have always made us incredibly proud. You continue to impress us, not only on the sports field, but in many other areas. Our musicians, singers, dancers, and budding artists continue to flourish in the later years of school. You have been involved in concerts at Christmas and special occasions for the older generation who visited our school in afternoons for afternoon tea. I am sure one day we will see you on the big stage somewhere. And so, this brings me to the last chapters, which thankfully, as your director of learning, were marginally quieter than the first. Your Key Stage 4 journey has been filled with preparations for the future and mainly involved with pushing you more than ever. You rose to the challenge most of the time. It has been such a pleasure to see you grow and watch you live as brilliant young men and women, ready for the world and your next steps. You all went last year on your work experience placements, which were a huge success. You went on a wide range of placements from theatres to energists and Sellafield, beauticians and hairdressers, which once again I cannot mention without making reference to Hannah McGuinness, returning from a hairdressing placement with Smurf blue highlights in her hair. I am so glad that we can laugh at this now, because we certainly didn't laugh at it at the time. On a serious note, we were so pleased with the feedback we got from all of the employers. You went out there and represented your school in the best light, which we knew you would do all along. Teachers came out to visit and again reported how amazing you were. We held World of Work Day, and you all impressed the interviewers so much that they felt the need to write to us all and tell us how impressed they were. 12 months ago, you thought you had forever to go until your exams. And I told you in assembly that it would go in the flash of an eye, and it did. The exam season came way too fast, even for me. But I do want to take this opportunity to congratulate you all. Every single one of you in this room rose to the occasion and worked incredibly hard. You have completed after-school revision, some of you 3 times a week. You have come in at mornings, at lunchtime, and most importantly at weekends. We've had pizza in the early days when we had plenty of money for 2-hour sessions, and this in itself is a challenge. But you all rose to it. I had a conversation with Mr. Bedford just at the other side of Christmas when he was a little bit worried. And my response to him was that this year group will only do things in their time and on their terms. And you did. I was never worried. And so, on that note, I would like for you to give yourselves a massive round of applause in return. And we have, as a year group, endeavoured to always give you rewards when we feel necessary. You have never been shy of having your photos taken for our social media pages, and have always been happy to celebrate your success. All of the awards for today have been voted by your teachers, your year group team, and your tutors. And we will ask that you come to the front one last time to get your certificates. The attendance is so amazing that we will give the 100% attendance out in the post later on, because we have so many to give. So without further ado, we're going to start and give the rewards out. I take this last off to see you all. Following which, we have got 2 videos for you to show, and then we will give out gifts at the end. Can I just ask you for a minute? Those of you who have paid for your prom tickets, we know. And at the end, after everything we've done today, we'll take the prom and we'll dish out the tickets. Okay, so right at the very end. So, Mrs. Williams is going to hand me the certificates. I'm going to read them and hand them back because it's far easier and I can't cope with spreadsheets. So, these are from the subject rewards, and we have 2. We've got one for achievement and one for progress for each subject, just like you always have done. If you come to the front, we'll take photos all together and we'll clap at the end so that we're not kind of like overclapping. So, we're going to start with English language, and the certificate of achievement goes to Jessica Ray, and this recognition of progress goes to Kale Skelton. Come down. For English literature, for outstanding academic performance, we have Olivia Moore, and for recognition of progress, this makes me so happy, Millie BB. In maths, for academic performance, we have Carl Rafferty, and for progress, we have Marcy Donquaite. In physics, for academic progress, we have, academic achievement, we have Levi Rupp, and in recognition of progress, Sophia Foster. In biology, for academic performance, we have Connor Fitzwilliam, and for progress, we have Finley Knowles. For chemistry, for achievement, we have Caden Lord, and for progress, we have Levi Rupp. For achievement in combined science, we have Caitlin Corkill, and for progress, Benjamin Nicholas. For health and social care, academic achievement goes to Ellie Denver, and progress goes to our EV Laney Rush, and in progress, Sophie Challenger. For child development, achievement goes to Ellie Walker, and progress goes to Demi Norman. In geography, do you want to have a little break? There's too many of them. Take that break. Couple.
Right. Jess, can you get a photo of them all together, please?
Right, keep the camera carry on. In geography, academic achievement goes to Luke Hendren and progress goes to Charlie Roberts. In history, academic achievement to Amy Barnes and progress goes to Billy McKenna. In religious studies, academic achievement goes to Billy Knowles and in progress goes to Lacey Price. In French, we have achievement to Sophie Adams and progress to Ellie Walker. In German, we have achievement to Liam Routledge and progress to Imogen Fraser. In design and technology, we have achievement for Fenton McNicholas and progress to Carl O'Leary. In engineering, who will be one day the head of Hayton Scaffolders, we have Dylan Hayton. And for progress, we have Lynn Sampson. For BTEC Sport, we have outstanding recognition to Atlak. And progress to Ellie Denver. In art, we have an academic achievement to Ryan Fell and progress to Carl Volkart. In music, academic achievement goes to Sharon Cunningham and progress to Billy Robinson. In creative media, academic achievement is given to Martin Thornthwaite and progress to Hannah McGuinness. Computer science, achievement goes to Abigail Gibbon and progress to Calvin Gray. And we'll just get some photographs before we move on. Olivia Moore and Tyler Stables today, to those of you who are going out to the workplace, this will be really, really useful and important. Our national tutoring programme was tough. It was tough on all of you students, and a number of you came no matter what, every single time. And in recognition of that, we're going to award you a certificate today. I'm going to give these to the following students: Mason Todd, Elijah Todd, Jack Jenkinson, Jaden Webb, Lucy Walker, Connor Fitzwilliam, Caitlin Corkill, Sophia Foster, Joe Thu, Ellie Walker, Lexi Bird, Ellie Denver, and Kyle Leary. Put your hands together, please. For community contribution, go to the following students: Stephen Embleton, Amy Barnes, Summer Bryce, Sophie Challenger, Alfie Gubbins, and Carl Volker. Come on down, please. And these are your tutor awards for Amy Hyde. And they go to Finley Robinson, Mason Todd, Bethany Burns, Eleanor Lyons, Bailey McCourt, and Caitlin Corkill. Contributions for your form tutors go to Grace Hughes, Sophie Murray, Jay McFarlane, Benton McNicholas, Tammy Norman, and Phoebe Sampson. Okay, and the last one of these ones before we move on to our bigger rewards are for kindness and empathy: Ethan Bell, Byron Robinson, Olivia Barlow, Olivia Moore, Millie Kerr, Scarlett Anderson. Can you give everybody a huge round of applause? single day of their lives in years 7, 8, 9 and 10. But in year 11 has turned this around. She has been through our doors on time every single day and has been here every single day. And that is our absolutely gorgeous Star Heron. Come on, Star! What an achievement. And the most reward point of the whole girl group goes to somebody who just blows us away most days with how hard she tries and the effort that she gives, despite everything. That's Elise Cooper. Come on down, Elise. We have one of the final awards from Miss Kinraid. We would like to honour one of our students for her own achievement award. And again, this student shows huge resilience every single day. He tries his best, despite some challenges, and has made us smile every day for the past 4 years. Come on up, Sammy, we're cracking Mrs. Williamson's baby and Mr. Williamson up there in the gods, literally, because he's an angel. The Radio Academy Awards go to the Radio Academy, that was a new one. Workington Academy Radio go to Archie Mahone and Connor Fitzwilliam and But I think I'm going to come down off the box of this one, although I haven't gone a number of inches over the last time I think I have done a box. So we've got medals to wear with pride, and these are the final tutor awards, and you must wear this medal. Okay, so for 11 HCA, even though this student thought that Miss Calvert was Welsh, and she's been his form tutor for how many years, Miss Calvert? 5. After, come on down.
Irish.
Oh, Irish, sorry, After. In 11 LMA, we have Luke Hendren. In 11 LWT, we have Lacey Price. In 11 RIV, we have Finley Knowles. In 11 GDO, we have Sophia Foster. And 11 SLA, we have Sophie Adams and Dan Blaze. Okay, we have 4 outstanding student awards to give for progress, attainment and supporting rewards. Normally we've not had this many, but we simply had too many to choose on. If I could have given every one of you today something, I definitely would have. So the outstanding student, we have a male and female, and this is for the student who has shown exceptional progress in all aspects of Workington Academy life. And the 2 awards go to Elise Cooper and Charlie Roberts. that we hadn't included at all, and Mrs. Williamson knows more about this than I do. So, can I pass over to you, Mrs.
If you want,
Williamson?
yeah. Okay, so we only got the news of this yesterday, that's why we don't have the trophy, but we're incredibly proud of this person. We nominated her for a Golden Apple Award, which is a big Cumbrian awards for education, and we got word yesterday that Lainey Nicholson has been accepted to the final of the Golden Apple Awards. Where is Lainey? So well done, Lainey.
Good afternoon, Year 11. Firstly, before I do give out this final award, it's been an absolute privilege to sit here this afternoon, seeing how you've grown over the last 5 years, what exceptional young people you have become. I am so immensely proud of you right now, as your parents are, and as every adult in this room.
Absolutely.
And this, honestly, she's beaming. You have been wonderful students for 5 years. And recently, the way that you've grown and matured into young adults, and the way that you've acted, not just in Year 11 and towards your exams, but in so many different things, has been something that you should be so proud of. So this final award is... It's the Me and Scott Award. Now, it's only 2 years since we lost me, and you know, I've got to be honest, for me, and I know for so many of you in the room, it's still very raw, it's still very hard to deal with. And this is probably our most special award, I think.
Yeah.
And I know that the team thought long and hard about who they were going to give this to. And it embodies so many things. It embodies what Mia was all about. She was about trust. She was about honesty. She was about kindness. She was about commitment. But most importantly, it's about friendship. And the person that I'm really proud to award this to, the Me and Scott Award for this year, is Kate Tomlinson. Can we give Kate another round of applause, please? Now, we'll all sit down listening to all this and having a great time. And you know what? I love the way he was coming to the pictures and thought about that shared history that we have. But there's 3 people in this room who have gone, if I say above and beyond, I'm underselling it. What they do for you is so there, and only right now do you actually see it. Only after 5 years does it dawn on you, goodness me, they went and did everything they could for me to make this work, and they absolutely do. So to the 3 people in this room right now, standing at the front there, I expect the biggest round of applause.
I can stand at the front and do assemblies and say lots of things and tend to be the one that everybody knows the best and knows the most. But these 2 are absolutely an integral part of every single thing that we do, and I just simply couldn't live without them. So thank you all again. Thank you.
Obviously, you can't let Zero go without acknowledging the absolute legend that is Tina Thompson.
like how everything lights off.
That's everybody. Come and get your bags.